Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to install a new microwave. This is an over-the-range microwave. I'm going to be showing you the tools, the preparation steps, and the process for this whole project. Come along with me. Hey everyone, my name is Jeff, and on this channel I've done all sorts of do-it-yourself projects around the house. You can check out those videos on my channel. But today I'm doing this fun project of switching out our older microwave. This is an LG model. It has over time stopped working efficiently, so today we're going to be replacing it with a new Frigidaire microwave. For full disclosure, this microwave was sent to me by Lowe. Lowe is sponsoring this video. You can check out more information about this microwave down in the video description. A big thank you to Lowe, and let's jump into what steps we're going to need to do for installation. So these are all the tools and items that I used during the installation process of this microwave. Something else I would recommend is covering your stove, your range, your oven. Put some sort of cloth, towel, something over it. I didn't do that in the recording of this video, and throughout the process of moving stuff around, drilling holes in the cabinets and stuff, my stove started to get dirty, and this will just save you from scratching stuff up. Highly recommend that. Highly recommend that you get all these different tools as you'll see in this video for the installation process. First steps we're going to want to do are take some measurements of the space that we're going to be putting our microwave. So my existing microwave, I'm going to take measurements of the width. So in this instance, this existing microwave is 30 inches. 30 inches is pretty standard for over the range microwaves. You're also going to want to get a depth dimension. So in this instance, this microwave is about 15.5, and this one is sticking out a little bit from the cabinets. I also would like to get a height measurement. So there's two different heights. One, you're going to want to get the height measurement of the microwave, or the space the microwave is going to be going in. So in this instance, we're right at about 17.5 inches. But I also want to get a measurement from my cooktop surface to the, you could go to the bottom of the microwave here, as well as to the bottom of your cabinet. Get all those measurements, and then it's important to check any of the, either the local codes in your area. Some codes, we're in Wisconsin here, and when I look up those codes, they defer back to needing to conform to whatever the microwave installation instructions are. So I'm also going to be taking those out of the box here and looking at those and making sure that my measurements match up with what the requirements are. So once you've got your microwave, you're going to need to uninstall the old microwave. This microwave is mounted on the back wall of the bracket, and then there's also some mounting screws that are going to be going into this cabinet above. In order to get access to all that, you're going to want to clean out this area, prep your space so that you don't have a lot of clutter. It's going to be way easier to work with. And then from that point, we're ready to start removing our old microwave. Let's jump into the cabinet here. I just want to show you what we've got. So first steps, I'm going to unplug our existing microwave so that that's going to be ready to go. You'll notice that there's already a hole here for the power cord. So at some point, once I get this existing microwave loose, I'll feed this power cord back down through as I'm pulling this off. But then we've got our existing screws that are holding the microwave to the bottom of this cabinet. I'm going to be loosening those up. That's going to free this microwave, allowing me to tilt it down, pop it off the bracket that it's sitting on. That's going to be on this back wall, and that'll allow me then to pull this off. So with those two screws from underneath the cabinet loosened, I've now got the ability here to kind of tilt down this microwave. The back of it's sitting on the bracket that's mounted on this back wall. I'm going to remove my power cord, and then with this microwave tilted forward, I should be able to just kind of lift it off that bracket. All right, let's get our new microwave open. So this microwave's got instructions on the top of the box explaining to open all the flaps on it, take out any accessories, and then we're gonna roll this box over so that it's upside down to be able to pull the microwave out. So included in here were the installation instructions. You're going to want to read these over, even in addition to everything I'm telling you in this video. But essentially the next step is going to be removing the mounting bracket from the microwave. Now at this point, this is the top of the microwave. The front is currently facing the bottom. This is that bracket that's going to get mounted to the wall. It's currently attached to the back of this. So I'm going to remove this for right now, and then I'm going to put the screws back into the back of this microwave. So here is the mounting plate from the old LG microwave. It's a lot bigger and a lot different than this new one that came with the Frigidaire. The likelihood, if you're going from an older microwave to the new one, that the mounting bracket's going to be exactly the same is pretty rare. So in this instance, I'm going to remove this mounting bracket to make room for the new one. And a quick shout out to Chelsea Hall 578 and Rolf James Lumapass, some of the latest viewers to find Tinker in some of my recent videos. Tinker is this little robot. He looks just like this guy on my shirt. He's going to briefly pop up at some point during this video. He pops up in all the videos on this channel. If you are the first person to spot him popping up in this video and correctly let me know the timestamp down in the comments section below, you might be like one of them, where I will give you a shout out in a future video, as well as we're going to add your name to our Tinker Forward Hall of Fame page. Be on the lookout for Tinker. So the microwave came with some paper templates. This one is for the rear wall. This one is for the top cabinet that goes underneath. So from this point, I've mounted my template for the wall and then the under cabinet template. And what I'm going to do is start marking where I'm going to be putting screws for this template. Your wood screws have to be going into studs to be able to support the weight of this microwave. So using a stud finder, I'm going to go ahead and just move it along the wall and start making some pencil marks where the studs are going to be. Just going to make sure that the stud finder is working correctly. Oh, it's working. So where my mounting plate's going to go, I've got my studs marked here and here. This is where I'm going to drill my wood screws, and those are the 3/16 drill bit. I've got a 5/8 spade bit that I'm going to go and drill here, and that's where I'm going to insert my toggle screws. So I'm going to put together my toggle screws. What I'm going to do is drill my hole with my 5/8 bit into the wall, and then essentially I'm going to take this toggle screw, insert it in the wall, and when these flaps get past the wall, they're going to open up, and now this screw will be secured to the wall. So with my template in place, I'm going to put my mounting bracket right here. Something that's kind of interesting is that for whatever reason, when I line this up, these holes, if I line them up with these holes, these seem to line up. When I get past the center line and I get over to this side, these holes are just a little bit off. And it's interesting because if I'm lining those holes up, there's just a little bit of variance. So before you drill, again, I would just double check. And then I also have my level here. This side could come down just a smidge, or actually go up just a smidge. So right about there, we're looking pretty good. My hole over here is lined up, so that's good. And then over here, these are just slightly off. I might just remark where I've got this hole here and then where I'm going to put my toggle screw over here. So for this mounting plate, I'm taking apart this toggle screw again, using the holes that I'm going to be putting the toggle screws through, actually putting the screw through it, and then reattaching so that the flaps are going to be facing back towards the plate. I'm going to screw this back on before actually starting to mount this to the wall so that this is going to be ready to go. Doing the same for the other side. All right, I got my mounting bracket on the wall and I'm just going to tighten these guys up. So my wood screws are here, my toggle screws are here. I didn't put this toggle screw in the farthest hole because there's either another stud here or there's something obstructing it. So I just want one hole over. But in the instructions, they do want you to do like the furthest over for most stability. These wood screws, essentially, you can just screw right in. These toggle screws, you need some resistance as you're putting this in. So what I think works pretty good is you can use like a putty knife and just kind of push back on this screw as you're screwing it to give it that resistance, and eventually it's going to tighten up. I'm just using a socket to go over these wood screws because even though I screwed them in, it started stripping the screw a little bit. This is just helping me make sure that these are nice and tight and secure. For these wood screws, I'm using a 10mm socket. And we're nice and level, good to go. And then essentially for this template that's gonna go underneath this cabinet, there's a hole here and there's a hole here. Those are gonna match up with the holes that are gonna be on the top of the microwave. So making sure that this is touching the wall, I'm gonna drill 3/8 holes for each of those top screws. So our exhaust from the microwave pipes straight up and then goes outside. So we're gonna have to configure the blower fan in our microwave so that it blows in the right direction. And take a second, if this video is helping you out, smash that like button as I greatly appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments section, what project are you currently working on? Are you remodeling your kitchen? Are you just looking to replace an old microwave? I always love reading the comments. Let me know down below. So I've got the microwave sitting on the table temporarily here. This is the back, this is the top. Here's our power plug. The front is way over here, but we're looking at the back top area. This is where the blower fan is. We need to rotate this because right now it's set up for just recirculating with no outside ventilation. We've got a vent that goes through the top of our cabinet above, and so we need this to blow the air out. So in order to rotate this blower fan, we're going to take out these screws for this cover. I'll pop this cover off. There's one more screw that's on the side. That actually loosens up the fan. So I can get my fingers underneath here and gently just pull up on this fan. Now it is wired right here, so you want to be careful not to put too much stress on this wiring. But from this point, I can rotate this fan. So if I have exhaust that's going to be going up, I could do it like that. Or if it was going to be vented from the back, I could rotate it this way, insert it back in. So in this instance, I'm going to have it facing up, just like this. So we're going to bring this back down. And then from this point, I'm going to line my side screw back up. Let's put our cover plate back on and put our screws back in. All right, after all that prep, it's time to see if we can mount the actual microwave. Couple of things. So one, you're going to need a hole for the power cord. As part of the mounting kit, there was a spot on there where you could drill for the power cord. I'm just going to use the existing hole that's already in here from our previous microwave. So I'm going to maneuver this power cord up and in before raising this thing up, because once you have it raised up, there's not any room to really maneuver the power cord. Now from this point, we're going to get the bottom of this microwave so that it sits on the mounting bracket. And when I say we, I have my wife helping me. This part you could probably do as one person, but honestly, I think having one person help maneuver each side of the microwave in its spot and then have somebody hold it while another person is mounting those screws at the top is going to be way easier. All right, from this point, we're going to give it some power, plug it in. All right, so here's our Frigidaire microwave. Open this guy up. We added our plate. Some of the other things that this particular microwave has is a charcoal filter. So up top, I can just go ahead and press the cover to open it up. The charcoal filter is here, so if I just push up on the top of it and then just kind of maneuver this out, here is our charcoal filter, which can be replaced. Close that back up. And then there are grease filters on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and press the light bulb to turn the underlight on. And they recommend that you clean these once a month. So in order to take these out, you can just kind of push back on them and then they pop out. Same thing for the other one. And then you can just kind of push it in towards the back and then maneuver it here towards the front to just put it back in. And there will be information down in the video description for part numbers for replacements for the charcoal filter as well as these grease filters. So there we go. From this point, it's good to just make sure that you've got your turntable installed correctly. I like to just do a quick test with it so we can just put it on for like 10 seconds. We can go ahead and start that up. Looks like it's working. I like that it's nice and quiet. You've got all your different buttons over here. So light bulb turns on this underneath light. You've got your different fan settings. So high, do low. We can turn that off. There's also the clock. So if you hold this in, it won't display the time. Let's just go back to our main menu here. So if you hold this in for 3 seconds, that won't display it. And then if you hold it in for another 3 seconds, it'll always display the time. If you're just getting things started to set the time, it's pretty simple. You would just hit the time button, type in what time exactly it is, hit the clock button again, and then everything should be all set up and ready to go. You can also go into settings for this particular model, and it'll allow you to do things like turn off the sound if you don't like the beeping when you're pushing the different buttons and things like that. So a lot of different customizability with this particular microwave. Every microwave is gonna be slightly different, but they're all gonna do the same thing. You can just refer to the instruction manual, and that's gonna give you all the information. A big thank you to Lowe's for providing the microwave, letting us do this do-it-yourself video, showing you guys the process. Again, gonna be very similar for even different models of microwaves. This hopefully will save you some money. I know average installation can be anywhere from $100 to like $400, maybe even more to have somebody come and do this yourself. I'm a firm believer that if you like doing projects yourself, anybody can do installations like this. Again, for an over-the-range microwave, having a second person to help lift it up, hold it in place while we were doing the final install, extremely helpful. My name is Jeff. I do weekly do-it-yourself projects, tech review videos, and more on this channel. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. You'll never miss any of my weekly videos that I do on this channel. Speaking of weekly videos, just recently I did a video on how I installed a dishwasher, so another kitchen appliance. If you want to check that video out, very detailed, showing you everything, that's going to be linked at the end of this video or down in the video description. I do appreciate you guys watching. Be sure to make every day awesome, and I will see you in the next video.